sometimes you gotta go back. And I don't mean to reminisce or chase ghosts. You gotta go back to look forward. And you gotta look forward to drive. Or else you'll crash into things. Well, in case you didn't know, that was my Drivin Ivan impression of the Matthew McConaughey Lincoln commercial. And he's right. You do have to go back to look to the future. And that's certainly important for Lincoln because they have a very rich history, and it's certainly important to incorporate it with their new models. Behind me, the all-new Lincoln Navigator for 2015. Will I be impressed? Let's find out. Well, I'm certainly impressed by the all-new front styling. It really emphasizes Lincoln's grille, and it looks bold and aggressive, and it looks large and in charge. Because it is. The side profile hasn't really changed that much, and that's a good thing. Still, easy to see that it's a Lincoln Navigator, especially with those big 22-inch wheels. Sure, it's boxy, but it definitely makes a bold statement, and that's important for this Lincoln. Getting in and out of the Lincoln Navigator can be difficult for the vertically challenged. That's okay, because it's got a pop-out step. Very nice. The interior has been updated in both materials and, of course, in terms of tech. The leather seats are all power. Of course, there's memory as well. Very comfortable, very supportive, and they're also heated and ventilated too. The large armrest hides 2 USB inputs, place to hook up your smarter iPhone, and also an SD card input, a charger, deep storage, and a tray as well for coins. Moving forward, there's a 6-speed auto transmission that you can shift manually, and 2 cup holders too. Here you have an ashtray and also an additional charger. The materials are a nice mix of color and texture. You've got leather here with some nice stitching contrasting to the leather on the seats, and some nice wood over on the dash. It's more soft touch material with some stitching as well to accent it, and nice wood around the dash and console here. The infotainment screen features Ford's 4-quadrant layout. You got your phone over here, navigation, climate, and entertainment. Very straightforward, very easy to use. You get push button start and a large steering wheel wrapped in both leather and wood. On the left side of the steering wheel you have controls for your cruise control, and also on the left side an information screen here. You can scroll through, get some useful information there. Speedometer right in the center, interesting colors, very nice. On the right side you have your infotainment menu, and that can be controlled right here. And down here on the steering wheel you have controls for your Bluetooth. Very nice looking gauge cluster. To the left you have controls for lighting. On the door, power windows, door locks, outside mirrors. You have a place to store your phone here, and some additional storage down there. The interior changes are definitely effective and very welcome. It's now polished and definitely more modern. Out back you have your own ventilation controls. You also get heated seats, also some entertainment options, plus 2 chargers. And you also get 2 nice large captain's chairs. Pop the trunk, and you do have a bit of storage back here with the 3rd row of seats up. You can fold them all down manually, and that's a good thing. For more room, and of course you can fold them all down if you like, or just leave one up for cavernous space. Powering the Lincoln Navigator is not a V8. It's actually the EcoBoost V6, which makes 460 horsepower, 380 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds, quarter-mile time of 14.9 at 93 miles an hour. Very impressive. You can tow up to 9,000 pounds, or in this case with the all-wheel drive system 4x4, it'll tow
8,600 pounds, so still impressive. Fuel economy rated at 15 miles per gallon in the city, 20 on the highway. You can expect 17 miles per gallon overall.
Traffic, traffic, traffic. But what do you care? You're sitting up high in your Lincoln Navigator. You've got the ventilated seats on, keeping you cool. You're listening to your tunes on Sirius XM or on your USB jump drive or on your phone, what have you. Don't worry, you're in the lap of luxury here. Nice comfortable seat, perfect seating position, and you're high, high, high above everybody else. I mean, this is a tall vehicle. Even large vehicles next to this, usual SUVs and things like that, well, they're just the starving minions when you gaze upon them in your extremely exclusive Lincoln Navigator. You're at the top of the game, king of the hill, the top of the heap, king of the hill. That's right, baby. If the Lincoln Navigator were a woman, it would be the one who is just so attractive for some reason that you overlook all her flaws. She might be really a pain to live with in some situations, but most of the time, she makes you feel like a king, and you just love her, despite her flaws. Sure, the Navigator might be really tough to park, and sure, it might not be the most practical vehicle, but when you want to load it with all your kids or your family and go on a long trip, or you want to grab that piece of furniture, or you want to move, or you want to just go camping in it, head off-road, and maybe crash in the back, well, you can do it all in style with the Navigator. So the Lincoln Navigator starts out at about $65,000, just over, and with $6,850 in options. Those options like Lincoln Drive Control, and that basically has 12 sensors that keep you on track as you're driving. They basically monitor all conditions, including road surface, even crosswind, and they make sure that your driving experience is as smooth as possible. It also changes the steering feel a bit, so the faster you go, the more feel you get, and that's what you want. You want that feedback to know what the wheels are doing. So drive control is definitely nice in a luxury vehicle like the Lincoln, and you never really have to think about it. The other options include the fancier 22-inch wheels, and there's also special paint as well. So you're out the dealer door with destination at $72,900. Now that's certainly not cheap, and there are competitors, of course, like the Infiniti QX56, which I reviewed. You can look for my review of that one. That's a very nice ultimate SUV, as this Lincoln Navigator is as well. But Lincoln does bring that bold styling, certainly, and also they bring lots of luxury, of course, technology, of course, but mainly what you're getting with the Navigator here is that image. It's huge, it's imposing, it's American, it's luxurious. It says, I don't care that gas is $3 or $4 a gallon. I'm going to live in luxury, I'm going to live large, and the Lincoln Navigator is a great ultimate SUV for that. And speaking of image, well, Lincoln has certainly come a long way. They've always been a luxury brand, but back in the day they were known for their large, kind of floaty, soft ride, and the Lincoln Continental definitely had enough style to be on par with the Cadillacs of the day. And that's definitely the pinnacle of American luxury. And I think Lincoln is doing a great job of reinventing that pinnacle of American luxury with cars like this all-new Lincoln Navigator. It really does have the latest in technology. It has all those things, but it still has that certain Lincoln styling. They look great in black. They serve as great limousines. You expect a star to get out of the back, especially if it's black. And it just gives that sort of badass image that many people who buy Lincolns want. You'll definitely arrive looking like a star in this Lincoln Navigator. Checking out the night look here on the Navigator, and it's pretty cool. Nice soft colors, blend in well. Everything shows up well, easy to see. Nice. Approaching a interesting turn here. And a lot of traction control kicking in. But quite interesting. Cornering, of course, not one of the Navigator strong suits, but for a vehicle this size, the fact that it hangs on at all is pretty impressive, and it hangs on pretty well. So Lincoln, certainly with their drive system, is trying to keep you comfortable, and they're trying to keep the cabin quiet, but you can definitely hear and feel the snarl of the engine, and that's good when you need it. Passing cars, it's got the get up and go when you need it. Blind spot monitor lights are definitely a great safety feature, and you also get these cool turn signal indicators too that definitely let people know you're going to be changing lanes, which is really important in a vehicle this size.
Now that's cool. It even puts the logo up so you know that you're beholding a Lincoln, even at night. Parking the Navigator is quite a task. It is a beast. But fortunately, you do have sensors and big mirrors that help. You also have a parking aid, which shows you what objects you're near. It also beeps at you if you're about to hit something. That's nice. Of course, the Navigator's ground clearance and also high driving position, including a very impressive, intimidating rear view mirror stance, make the Navigator a great choice for people that want to be king of the road. And when you take it off-road, the Lincoln Drive Control, this one with 4-wheel drive, of course, make sure that all wheels stay in contact with and are gripping the ground for maximum forward thrust. In terms of complaints, well, I'd really like to see hands-free entry, not just push-button start. I don't want to mess with a key when I'm dealing with a luxury vehicle. I should just be able to walk up to it and get in. It should sense that I'm there. So there's that. But overall, it's really a very fine luxury 7-passenger SUV. Now, in terms of technology integration, well, it's got a USB input, in fact 2, plenty of chargers, and that's all great. The infotainment screen is very easy to use and program with that 4-quadrant system. Also, the climate control, things like that, the cruise control, very easy to use. So therefore, this Lincoln Navigator uses the technology well. I will give it an 8.5 out of 10 in my Drivin Ivan technology integration score. So in the end, you definitely do have to look back to really step into the future, and that is what I think Lincoln is doing and has done. They've basically taken the antiquated V8, replaced it with a V6 EcoBoost, which is better in every category, including, of course, fuel economy, and that's very important for a vehicle of this size. They're still offering excellent levels of comfort, tech, luxury, and even performance, and they're doing it in a very attractive Lincoln package. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, subscribe to me on YouTube, check out all of my other videos. Thanks for watching. I'm not Matthew McConaughey. I'm Drivin Ivan.